Let's get to the latest on Afghanistan, and this is as the Taliban continues to hold talks over the formation of a new government there in Afghanistan. The central government in India has reiterated that its stand on Taliban. The government here maintains that it is too soon to say anything whether or not they're recognizing the Taliban right now. In fact, during the press briefing that came in earlier this evening, this was from the External Affairs Ministry here, the spokesperson Arindam Bagchi here said that the centre's concern for now is entirely focused is to ensure that Afghan soil is not used for any anti-India terrorism activities. Take a listen in.
देखिए येस और नो सवाल नहीं है ये हमारे पास बिल्कुल हम ऐसे बिना सोचे तो कुछ किया नहीं होगा हमने नहीं मैं लंबा जवाब येस और नो भी नहीं देना चाहता हूँ मैं आपने दूसरा पूछा टेररिज्म के बारे में उसमें काफ़ी बाकी सवाल भी आए हैं देखिए लेट मी जस्ट से हमारा जो मेन कंसर्न है वन ऑफ द प्राइमरी इमीडिएट कंसर्न इज that Afghan soil should not be used for terrorist, anti-Indian activities or terrorism against India. I think you saw that in our press release. हमने इस बारे में काफ़ी कह रखा ये हमारा एक मेन मुद्दा है और इस पे ही मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा कि हमारा फोकस यही है तो मैं इस स्पेसिफिक इश्यूज़ पे कमेंट नहीं करना चाहूँगा हमारी रोड मैप के बारे में देखते हैं कैसे आगे क्या बढ़ता है इसमें इसी बात में आई थिंक सम पीपल आस्क्ड अबाउट इज इट टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन what is that's not the focus.
But let's get in more voices. Let's also get in an expert voice. We have former ambassador Ms. Veena Sikri connected with us. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for being with us here. What is your reading of these developments? While India has today just confirmed that there was a meeting that happened yesterday with the Taliban on neutral ground in Doha, focusing here just not with respect to evacuation of Indians that are still stranded there, but also ensuring that Afghanistan soil is not used for any anti-India terror activities. The larger concern that was raised here is to what extent India should be engaging with the Taliban right now.
Well, I think that the slow and steady steps the government of India is taking are very much in the right direction. The wait and watch attitude has to continue. As you have seen, the key thing is the Security Council resolution that was adopted on 30th of August, just 2 days ago. And that resolution under India's chairmanship, which was adopted, sets out the parameters, the framework within which Taliban is expected to go ahead and form its government and so on. So that is critical. Taliban has to live up to those commitments. I think American Secretary of State Blinken has also specifically talked about this, that Taliban has to earn its recognition. And that is the key, that the territory of Afghanistan should not be used for any kind of terrorist activity against any country in the region or in neighbors or anything like that. That is very, very important. And the Taliban has made a commitment on safe evacuation of people from its country, foreign nationals and Afghan nationals. And third is inclusive government, with including women and children. So now the Taliban has not yet been able to announce formally the structuring of its government. There's been expectation it may happen any day, it may happen any time. But till that happens, I think the wait and watch attitude by India and by many other countries in the world will continue.
Right. But ma'am, would you call this a wait and watch? Because we have already started talks with them, even before they form a government, even before they sign up on a promising peace. Should these talks have started already, even before all of that starts on the front of the Taliban?
Yeah, no, that's fine, because as we know that the talks in Doha did take place at the Indian embassy with our ambassador there. This was at the initiative of the Taliban. They wanted to have the meeting and it has taken place. It has been very successful and positive because it is focused right now on the evacuation of the remaining Indians, safe passage, evacuation, and making sure that the situation is safe. And certainly, I'm sure all the big concerns of the Indian government about terrorism and so on will have been conveyed uncertain terms. So that is fine. But I'm still saying that unless there's a formal government in Afghanistan, unless this is announced the Taliban that this is our government. There really is nobody to talk to. Certainly, the responses, the initiatives the Taliban has taken to reach out to India, they will be responded to. Why not? I mean, that is fine. One talks to, all the people who are very much involved there and are really in control there now, the Taliban. But still, the Taliban has to form a government. All the countries are waiting for that. Until that happens, it will have to be wait and watch. And when it happens, we will wait and watch for the implementation of the UN Security Council resolution terms. So that is the important point, It's not just wait and watch to see what is happening.
Let's in fact get in a political voice here on this here as well. We have, yes ma'am, we have BJP spokesperson Mr. Raman Malik connected with us here on this as well. Raman, good evening. Thanks for being with us here. The larger concern which certain sections are raising is that there is no good Taliban, there is no bad Taliban, there's no good terror or bad terror. The Taliban has a very shady, established violent past here, and should we be having a dialogue process with them, even if this is a one-off meeting?
See, one must understand the situation is very dynamic, and what happens, how things turn around every day is an issue. The government of India is very clear about this, that they would wait and watch. We are not giving any legitimacy, or we are not completely closing our channel, because there are still certain Indian assets, there are still people who India would like to look into, because of the fact that
but Mr. Raman Malik, do we not already given that legitimacy if we hold the first dialogue process, if we make a start of that dialogue process with them?
See, we as a nation are very clear upon this. We do not and we will not accept any terrorist organization being the government in any country. We do not talk to terror sympathizers. We do not talk to terror supporters or the people who make facilitation for terror. Now, terror cannot be good or bad. Terror is terror. There is nothing else about it. And
absolutely,
we must look.
And that is something that is already established with the Taliban, with its ties that it has with the Haqqani network, with the Taliban's own past here. They have formidably established their past in terrorism. So where really is this coming from? But hold that thought there, Raman Malik. Let's also get in Charan Singh Sapra of the Congress here. Charan Singh Sapra, the government's understanding here being that right now, because evacuation of some of the Indians who are still stranded there is of prime importance. Therefore, we have to hold these talks with Taliban.
See, it's not about holding the talks with Taliban now. Definitely, they should hold talks in the interest of the Indian citizens who are left over there. But let me bring the facts to you that when the document was made by Taliban, probably in February 2020, they had already mentioned that they are being supported by 13 groups like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, like 13 terror outfits who have base in Pakistan were supporting Taliban. It is documented, and anybody can see that document also. And when the External Affairs Minister in September 2020, he went for a meeting. The Talibani leaders were present over there. That document was placed in front of him. And even in the UNSC, on probably 4th August, we have condemned Taliban. But on the last day, that is the 31st August, which was the last day for India to chair that UNSC monthly meeting, I feel India has gone ahead and supported sort of Taliban. So the government should come clean on this. They should come clear on this, that what they wish to do. Do they wish to support Talibani government over there? If they are supporting Talibani government, then they are also supporting the 13 terror groups which are associated with the Taliban government over there.
That's a very strong charge here. While the government tries to do a very tightrope walk on this, Mr. Raman Malik, would you like to respond to that here? Because the message that is being sent out, also in today's MEA briefing that took place with the spokesperson here today, a lot of questions were raised with respect to lending that legitimacy to Taliban. I mean, they have proven nothing about being peaceful. It's all about a very violent, terror-ridden past.
See, we all know that the remote control of whether it is Pakistan or whether it is Taliban, it seems to be in the hand of the neighbor in the north who had a certain MOU in 2008. Now, let's not forget one simple factor, that we have an eminent, clear issue to be resolved right now, and that is about two basic things. One is the Indian assets in Afghanistan. The second is people or other assets which could be of importance to Indian state or its people. We are only concentrating on those facts as of right now. There is no talks about legitimacy or not being any legitimacy not being provided or provided to these people. Let the situations evolve. Let a government be formed. We will see as the time and date evolves. We will also be looking at the Northern Alliance. How are they doing? What are they doing? There are various combination permutations. And as in the morning today, the tweet of Pakistan Prime Minister talking about Syed Ali Shah Gilani being a martyr for them and a hero of Pakistan, I believe the situations will keep dynamically changing. There is immense pressure on the borders at Pakistan also, because people from Afghanistan are breaking the border and walking into the Pakistani territory. Situations have to be looked into.
Right, but as far as India is concerned, as you specified, prime concern, of course, here is to protect India's interests and assets here. Doesn't necessarily mean lending legitimacy to the Taliban. Fair enough clarifications on that. Mr. Raman Malik, appreciate you speaking with us. Mr. Charan Singh Sapra as well, for getting in your point of view on that.